Okay, so let's jump right in. We're going to be breaking down the actual language of
Yeah,
music.
the building blocks.
Exactly. And this isn't just about memorizing terms. It's about figuring out the blueprint that, every songwriter uses, whether it's Mozart or Taylor Swift.
Right. If you get this vocabulary, you stop just hearing a song.
You start understanding how it's built to make you feel something.
That's the whole point. It's about seeing how the tools are used to build that experience for you, the listener. It's all about recognizing the structure.
So let's start with the most basic element of any sound, pitch.
Hmm.
When we say pitch, we just mean how high or low a sound is. And that all comes down to the frequency of sound waves.
A faster vibration gives you a higher pitch, a slower one, a lower pitch. It's that simple.
And we've managed to organize all of those infinite sounds into a system that just uses the first 7 letters of the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's it. Those 7 letters just repeat higher and higher or lower and lower across, a whole piano keyboard.
But wait, if it's only 7 letters, how does a standard piano with 88 keys create so much complexity?
Ah, that's where the patterns come in. We arrange those notes into what are called scales.
The DNA of the music.
Exactly. A scale is the melodic DNA. And the most famous one, the major scale, is the one that usually sounds bright and happy to our ears.
And that happy feeling isn't an accident, right? It's built into the structure.
It is. It's a specific pattern of steps between the notes that our brains hear as stable and, well, positive. And inside that scale, there's one note that's the most important, the tonic.
The home note.
Home note. Think of it like musical gravity. Everything wants to return to the tonic. It gives you that feeling of rest, of being finished.
That sense of resolution at the end of a big dramatic song.
That's it. And to write all this down, musicians use a map called the staff.
The 5 horizontal lines and 4 spaces you see on sheet music.
It's a really simple, elegant system for mapping out all those pitches.
Okay, so pitch gives us the notes, the height of the sound, but music has to move through time.
Which brings us to the heartbeat, to rhythm.
This is what makes you want to tap your foot.
It's how we organize sound in time. And it's all built around this steady underlying pulse.
The beat.
The beat, yeah. It's like an invisible metronome that's just ticking away. The rhythm is what you get when you play notes of different lengths over that steady pulse.
So the pulse might be a steady 1, 2, 3, 4, but the rhythm could be a long note held for all 4 beats or a bunch of quick notes inside just one beat.
Precisely. And we have names for those note lengths. You'll hear musicians talk about whole notes, half notes, quarter notes.
And that's pretty standard, right? Like in the US and England.
Yep, it standardizes how long you hold a note compared to that pulse.
And to organize those pulses, we have the time signature, that little fraction you see at the start of the music.
That tells you how to group the beats. How many beats fit inside one little box or measure.
So 4 time, the most common one.
Means 4 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets 1 beat. But changing that changes the whole feel. If you use 3/4 time, it suddenly feels like a waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
It gives it a swing.
It does. Now, if rhythm is the internal timing, tempo is the overall speed.
Right. How fast or slow the whole thing is moving.
We measure it officially in beats per minute, but composers usually just use Italian words to describe the mood.
Oh, like allegro.
Exactly. Allegro means fast and cheerful, energetic. But if you see adagio, that means play it slowly with a lot of space. It sets the emotional pace of the piece.
And music doesn't always stay at one speed. It can speed up.
Which we call an accelerando. It's great for building excitement.
Or it can slow down, which is a retardando.
Right. Often used to signal that you're nearing the end of a section. And if you need to practice keeping that speed perfectly steady.
You use a metronome, that clicking device.
That's the tool for the job.
Okay, so we've got pitch and we've got time. Let's put them together to make the part that really gets stuck in your head, the melody.
The melody is the tune. It's the sequence of pitches and rhythms that your brain lashes onto as a single idea, the part you whistle.
And it needs to have a shape, like a sentence, a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Absolutely. And melodies can move in different ways. They can move by step.
Meaning the notes are right next to each other on the scale?
Yes, which makes it feel smooth and easy to sing, like a folk song.
Or it can move by leaps.
Bigger jumps between notes. That often creates more drama, something more complex and, exciting.
We also talk about a melody's range, right?
We do. That's just the distance between its lowest note and its highest note. And another really important piece is the motive.
What's a motive?
A motive is just a short, catchy musical idea. maybe just a few notes that get repeated and developed throughout the piece. Think of the da-da-da-dee-you from Beethoven's Fifth.
Ah, okay. That's the motive. It's what makes it memorable.
Yes. But once you know what notes to play, you need to know how to play them, and that's articulation.
I always think of this as musical punctuation.
That's a perfect way to describe it. It's all about how you start and end each note. For instance, a dot over a note means staccato,
Short and detached.
very clipped.
Hmm.
It creates a light, sometimes even prickly sound. The opposite of that is legato.
Smooth and connected.
Exactly. No silence between the notes. It feels like one long flowing line. And then you have accents, which tell a musician to play a specific note with more force.
To make it pop out.
Right. And slurs, which are curved lines over notes, telling you to play them all in one smooth motion. Without articulation, music just sounds flat and robotic.
Okay, fantastic. So we've built the horizontal line, the melody. Now it gets richer. We have to add the vertical layers. We have to talk about harmony.
Harmony is what happens when you play two or more different pitches at the same time.
Yeah.
It adds all the depth and the color behind the main melody.
And the basic unit of harmony is a chord.
Usually 3 or more notes played together. Chords are the background, the foundation that the melody stands on.
And the sequence of those chords is called a progression.
Right. And that progression tells an emotional story. It's all about the push and pull between two types of harmony, consonant and dissonant.
Okay, what's the difference?
Consonant chords sound stable, pleasing,
Yeah.
restful.
They sound right.
Yeah. Dissonant chords, on the other hand, sound tense. They clash. They sound unstable.
So why would anyone use them?
Because composers use that tension on purpose.
Mm.
They create dissonance to make you crave the resolution back to consonance. It's what drives the music forward. It's drama.
It's the tension and release.
Exactly. And once you start layering all of this, melody, rhythm, harmony, you create what we call texture.
Texture just means how thick or thin the music feels.
Right. How all those different layers are interacting.
Yeah.
And there are 3 main types. The simplest is monophonic,
Mono meaning one, so
Yeah.
one single melodic line with nothing else,
like one person singing alone. Then there's homophonic.
which is what we hear in most pop music, right?
Pretty much. You have one main melody, the singer, and everything else is just chords supporting them.
And the last one is polyphonic.
Poly meaning many. This is the most complex. It's when you have multiple independent melodies all happening at the same time, weaving around each other.
Like a complicated piece by Bach or a choir singing around.
That's the idea. And the texture can change. A piece might start with just one instrument, then build into a huge, thick texture with the whole orchestra.
Okay, so the structure's built. Now let's talk about the more emotional qualities, like volume. We're talking about dynamics.
Dynamics is simply how loud or soft the music is. And again, we use Italian terms. Piano means play softly.
And forte means play loudly.
But the real magic is in the change between them. A crescendo is a gradual increase in volume.
Which is perfect for building excitement.
Absolutely. And the opposite, a gradual decrease, is called a decrescendo or diminuendo.
To make things feel like they're calming down or fading away.
It's all about controlling the mood. Another key element for mood is timbre.
Or what's often called tone color.
Yeah. Timbre is the unique sound quality that lets you tell the difference between, say, a trumpet and a violin, even if they're playing the exact same note at the same volume.
So it's about the character of the sound.
Right. It all comes down to the physics of the instrument, the materials. Is it wood? Is it metal? And that's why we describe sounds as being bright or dark or mellow.
And composers choose instruments specifically for that tone color. A flute might sound like a bird, but you'd use a cello for something deep and somber.
You got it. So finally, we take all of these elements, pitch, rhythm, harmony, timbre, dynamics, and we organize them into a blueprint. That's the form.
The overall structure of the piece. And it's usually built on a few key ideas like repetition and contrast.
You need repetition, so the listener has something familiar to hold on to, and you need contrast to keep it pristine. In pop music, we see that as the verse, chorus, and bridge.
And in classical music, there are more formal structures, like ternary form.
Which is an ABA pattern. You have a main idea, then a contrasting middle section, and then you return to the first idea. It's a very satisfying structure for the listener.
Before we finish up, let's do a super quick review of the instruments themselves, the families.
Okay, rapid fire. You've got strings, where the sound comes from a vibrating string.
Woodwinds, where you blow air into a tube.
Brass, where the sound starts with the player's lips vibrating against a mouthpiece.
And percussion, which is basically anything you hit, shake, or scrape.
That's the rundown.
And all of this gets written down using music notation. You have the staff, and then you have clefs.
Like the treble or bass clef, which tell you the general pitch range for the notes on that staff.
And key signatures, the little sharps or flats at the beginning.
Those tell the musician which notes to alter for the entire piece, so everyone stays in the same scale. Being able to read notation means you can play a piece of music written hundreds of years ago that you've never even heard.
It's an incredible system.
So really, understanding all these basics, it lets you appreciate not just what a musician is playing, but how they're building that whole experience. You see the architecture behind the emotion.
And since we talked about how music uses repetition and contrast to build its form, here's something to try. Take your favorite song, one you know inside and out, and try to label the sections with letters. Call the verse A, the chorus B, the bridge C. See what the pattern is. You'll start to see the blueprint for yourself.
A great way to listen differently.
See you next time.